Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch, and welcome today to a brief unboxing and initial impression style video about a beautiful Swiss watch that caught my eye nearly 18 months ago, but I'm finally getting a chance to get my grubby mitts on one today. It's a Tissot Heritage 1938. I first saw these back in November 2023, not long after they were launched at Watchfest, which is Sydney's annual watch show, and I thought they were gorgeous and frankly pretty good value for a big brand Swiss-made chronometer grade automatic. In fact, I was sorely tempted to buy one for myself at that time, but I thought better of it. So I'm delighted to be able to peel the stickers off a box fresh example for our mutual entertainment today, thanks to longtime supporter of the channel, Jason from WA. Jason has loaned me a bunch of stuff over the years. He's got a fantastic and fantastically varied collection, including Seagulls, Oris, Formex, Citizen, Spinnaker, Bulova, Zelos, Zurich and Seiko. And I might even have spotted an EREBUS in there somewhere as well. If you want to give him a follow on Instagram, I'll leave a link to his account in the description of the video. Thank you again, Jason. Let's flip the camera and have a look at his shiny new Tissot. Indeed, let's. But I did say in the intro that I thought this one was fairly well priced for what you get, at least on paper anyway. So let's talk price early today, because it does always help contextualize what you see throughout the rest of the video. Now, the official Tissot RRP on these is 1,380 Aussie dollars. However, I also said in the intro, these have been out for at least 18 months. That means that online retailers like Creation Watches here on eBay are selling them for $1,130 something. However, I know where Jason got this particular watch from. He got it from Vincent in Wamada Jewelers in Sydney's Chinatown, and well, I'm going to ship it over there. Vincent loves to do deals. Jason got about 20% off the RRP, so he got it for even less than the online price, and that was from an official authorized dealer. So a cost-certified, big brand Swiss-made Tissot watch with full warranty plus 1 year additional international warranty from an AD 1,100-ish Aussie dollars. I don't think that is bad at all. With watches that aren't this month's hottest thing, it always pays to negotiate a little bit, always pays to ask for a deal. There we are, 1,380 RRP. Well, Jason didn't pay that, did he? So he went for this silver white dial version with the blue hands on the leather strap. However, I spotted them packing a mesh band into the box as well. I'm not sure if that comes with a package or Jason just did all right. What I think I'll do is we'll have a look at it on the leather and then I'll swap it onto the mesh so I'm not fouling Jason's leather strap during the video. So that is the package then, so to speak. Instruction manual here, which I don't think we'll need. Register my watch, watch registration card with the typically unwieldy Tissot model reference, which should also be replicated on the hang tag here. There we go. T142.464.16.032.00. Come on, Swatch Group. That's ridiculous. Certified chronometer, extra hang tag here, mesh band, and of course the watch. Goodness me, I got myself in a dreadful mess trying to untangle those two hang tags. I ended up entangling them further. Alright, no stickers per se, but there is a giant kind of master protector sticker. There we go, and yeah, that is a very handsome little watch. Now I say small, it's not actually that small a watch, but it is certainly smaller than the Tissot telemeter chronograph that kind of preceded it in this heritage range. I also managed to review one of those kindly on loan from a subscriber a couple of years ago. Now, chronometer, we know it's a chronometer. We've seen several pieces of evidence so far, including on the dial. One more little sticker for us here to peel, covering the actual chronometer grade movement. Now, a bit of a bonus for everyone, I think, here, particularly for Jason, because he just bought the watch. We're so used to seeing Swatch Group products featuring the Powermatic 80 movement. that is not a Powermatic 80 movement, it is the OG. It's an ETA 2824 chronometer grade. The Powermatic 80 is great, it's got an 80-hour power reserve, oddly enough, but it does have a reduced beat rate, so 3 Hz 2100 rather than 4 Hz 288, and it contains a number of plastic parts that are not found in the original. So this one, better for servicing, better for longevity if Jason or somebody else ends up keeping this one for the long term. Let's get back to dimensions then. This one is 39.3 mil in diameter, 11.6 mil thick, with a 46.5 lug tip to lug tip. 20 mils between the lugs. Now, as supplied on this leather band, it weighs in at 63 grams. That is a very nice piece of double-domed sapphire crystal, 50 meters of water resistance, which is perfectly sufficient for this style of watch. And the movement, well, we just had a good look at it. It's the ETA 2824, of course. Let's have another quick look at this one under macro lens though, because you don't see these nearly as often as you used to. They used to be pretty commonplace in micro brands, but ETA, i.e. the Swatch Group, have been much more reluctant to dish them out to all and sundry recently, keeping them for their in-house brands, such as Tissot. So 25 joule hacking and hand winding, 4 Hz as discussed, and chronometer grade means -4 to +6 seconds per day maximum variance. I gotta say though, considering Swatch Group own both the movement manufacturer and the brand, surely they could have specified one without a ghost date position. The movement is not hacking until I pull the crown out one stage further. Case finish is very nice though, super fine brushing to the side of the case and the upper lug surfaces, and it's a high polished fixed bezel. Very, very simple. The whole watch is designed to be very, very simple. Now, 1938, it's the Heritage 1938. There is an oblique reference, and I really do mean an oblique reference here, to a ski race in Switzerland back in the 1930s that Tissot was the official timekeeper for. Yeah, pretty tenuous to be honest, but it is in keeping with that very, very simple three-hand, almost field watch style that was prevalent amongst wristwatches at that time. I do like the grain leather strap, nice and subtle. You don't want to overpower such a simple dial, do you? And this strap certainly doesn't overpower it. Blue stitching, nice soft backing here. It is Tissot branded, of course, 20 to 18, and quick release, which is great. I guess if you are supplying this one with a second option, you really need to make everything quick release, don't you? And for once, the collars match the cuff. Tissot Heritage style logo on the buckle and on the dial of the watch. Well, the collars match the cuff on the leather strap anyway. The mesh, not so much. That is the contemporary Tissot logo on there rather than the Heritage one. I've complained about exactly this thing on Swatch Group products before. The beautiful Hamilton Intramatic that I reviewed then, bought myself a couple of years ago, had mismatched logos. If you're gonna put your old logo on the dial, guys, see it through, please. In fact, as nice as this mesh band is, it might be a little bit thick. Perhaps something slightly thinner would have matched the kind of delicate utilitarian look of the watch head. Dial and hands, and again it's all super simple here. Fairly slender set of sword hands in blue. I would imagine these are painted blue rather than thermally blued. The dial itself is molded. Those numerals are not applied, they are part of the main structure of the dial. They do look pretty good though. They are raised just a little bit, enough to give them a bit of extra presence. Traditional train track minute markers around the outer edge with very small Arabics on the 5s. The word Swiss made, of course, printed either side of the 30 within that double train track, and the Heritage logo and chronometer with French rather than English spelling, the only other printing on the dial. There's a little bit of texture here as well. The main dial surface has a very slightly granular texture to it, and there are some concentric circles within the minute marker railway track. Overall, super simple, just how it should be if you are aping the look of a watch from the late 30s. That's it on my 7-inch wrist. Weight on the mesh, by the way, is 115 grams, so still not exactly a behemoth, but it does add a little bit of bulk to it. I don't wear mesh Milanese style bracelets as often as perhaps I should. They are super, super comfortable. It's nice to pop one on and it just conforms to the wrist so perfectly because of the tight weave of all these separate little links. And despite having lots and lots of separate little links, they don't pull hairs. Nice looking watch as well, and surprisingly legible because of that big dial. Yeah, very, very nice and legible. Those big, long blue sword hands against that silvery dial. Very easy to see, even from the edges of the viewing angle. And there is a little bit of AR coating under the crystal, apparently, as well. Well, despite the fact that it's not mine and I've just opened the box, I'm still going to complain about it because that's what I do. As part of the package, come on Tissot, you should have sorted that out. That's poor. Surely you've sold enough of these to justify making a small batch of them with the old logo on there. It does kind of detract a little bit from the fact that you get those two different band strap options. Talking of options, there are two other colour options as well. If it was my money and not Jason's money, I would go for either of these rather than the silver with blue. I think they're both a little bit more interesting, have perhaps got a little bit more character than the version he chose. And talking of character, if I was in the market for something like this, I would also have a good look at sister brand Longines Heritage range of watches instead. They are a little bit more expensive than these, admittedly, by a factor of perhaps 1 or 2, but I think they are more characterful than the Tissot 1938. But if simplicity is what you're after and you don't need a date complication, then this one certainly fulfills its brief. It looks great, it's got plenty of retro charm and character, fantastic brand name on the dial, great movement in the back, and the price, especially if you can haggle with someone like Vincent, is actually pretty good for a Swiss-made big brand watch in 2025. So there you have it. It's not a fancy watch, it's not a complicated watch, it's a deliberately simple and unpretentious watch. And do you know what? I think it's a fairly decently priced watch as well. Floating around that $650 to $700 US mark for a big brand Swiss-made chronometer with a classic movement like that in the back of it in 2025, I think that's actually all right. Thanks again, Jason, for loaning me this one. I hope you love the watch when it lands over there in the Republic of Western Australia. If you want to look at another couple of Jason's pieces that I have had the privilege of reviewing, click here or here. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you again in the next one.